everyone, it's Jennifer and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a draw with me. Need to stop doing that, right? I am working on, I started a new painting on Saturday and I've been working on it. Uh, I worked on it some yesterday and I worked on some of it Saturday night, none Sunday. Well, yes, I did Sunday when I did my live. So this is the the Egyptian Queen of the Leopards, and I put a link to it in my description box. And this is what she's going to look like when she's done. I hope you guys can see her. I know it's probably a little blurry, but I'm trying to get her as close as I can without it being blurry. Technically, I guess you could say this is Cleopatra. I don't know. Anyway, this is another one of my favorite ones. So we're going to start and we're just going to, diamond paint. You guys can diamond paint, craft, whatever, while I talk about life in the nut house that is also the Wall family. Okay, so let's get started. This week I guess it's been a good week. Actually, it has been a good week, truthfully. Um, we Even though last week it didn't really start off that way, I went to record my whip and chat for my hour whip and chat, and I had it recorded and I had it all uploaded and everything, and the darn thing wouldn't upload through Power Director. Come to find out, I need to get the subscription. So tomorrow that will be one of the first things that I do. Hopefully that will solve the issue and I can start using it again. Until then, I'm using a backup. I guess it's kind of good in a way that you have a backup. I don't know. But anyway, so I did that, and in the process I started this painting, and of course you guys can see behind me that Who You Say I Am, that is for my son, is finished. That's a good thing. Excuse me. And he saw it and he liked it. So now we're just waiting for a frame so it can be hung up in the living room. Sorry, I need my coffee. So, other than that, it's been, like I said, it didn't start off the greatest week. And after, getting frustrated and irritated and so forth with the program and the fact that my internet speed isn't the greatest in the world, and then not wanting to upload through Power Director, and me using a backup program, I finally, got it to upload, but it didn't upload until 2 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday morning. So, needless to say, I wasn't really thrilled. Let's put it that way. I was irritated, and part of it is, and because our internet is so, kind of, I don't want to say it's slow, but because of the speed, it's hard to upload anything, especially when you have other people that are on the internet. And when I started my channel and I started doing, doing my videos, my kids were, I let my kids know that I would be, doing these videos, and most of the time that they would be done during the day and that they would be uploaded during the day. And they were all, understanding. Justin, is he doesn't like the fact that, mom has a YouTube channel. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I guess it's because he just doesn't, understand why his mother, a 50-year-old woman, would want a channel. I don't, and, after he's watched a couple of my videos and so forth, he doesn't really say much. He gets it. So, he's square or round? I can't tell you. Round. So he just, and at first he was okay with being patient and waiting, but, and I don't know if he forgets or if he just doesn't care. I don't know what the deal is. But when he gets home, I tell him, dude, I'm especially if there's a video that hasn't uploaded yet before he gets home, I let him know. You got to wait to get on the internet and just, watch TV or, something. Well, he tells me okay, but then he's like, he doesn't care. Or I don't know. So he goes and does whatever. And so when I was trying to upload the Whip and Chat on Monday, and he came home from school, he, just he knew I was uploading a video because I was in here while I was trying to upload. And he went in and, we talked before he went to do his thing in his room. And the next thing I know, I hear him playing Xbox. And I kind of got irritated with him. And, we went back and forth the whole, off and on all day. So finally it came down to a point that I looked at him and I said, you really just, I said, you either just don't care or I don't know what your issue is. I said, but it's coming to a point because of this that I'm going to stop. I'm just going to delete my channel and I'm just going to make you happy. Well, he turns around and of course, he apologized after it was all said and done. Well, you don't need a channel. You're 50 years old. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Whatever. So he apologized later and I told him, I said, dude, here I am. I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do this. And, when I let you all know that when I started this channel, you were okay with it. And I said, what's the deal? And, he forgets that the internet speed is slow and it gets slower when you use a lot of, when you have a lot of devices that are using the Wi-Fi. So I get it. And I told him, I said, I get it. And so he apologized. And last night, this was my fault. I was trying to, excuse me, goodness. I was trying to upload a video for today, which that idea went out the went out the window, not because of the slow internet, but it was I just didn't I just changed my mind about that video. But anyway, so I told him, because he said he comes out like at 5 or 6 o'clock and he says, is it okay for me to go ahead and get on the internet? And I was like, yeah, that was my fault. So when I came back here to go to bed, it was still trying to upload. And I said, you know what? Just forget it. We're just going to, leave it alone. So I deleted it, and it, I mean, it wasn't uploaded to my channel yet, so that was a good thing. But and now that I had changed my mind about the video anyway, and I didn't feel like dealing with all of it. I said, I'm not gonna let it get to me. Not gonna happen. So he's been a little bit more um courteous about, asking me if I'm still, if I need the internet or whatever, or if I'm done um with the internet and so forth. And so that was the good thing. And I think a lot of it, he just didn't understand that it's slow. And because, I mean, it's Xfinity, it's supposed to be good internet. Who'd have thought, right? So he, excuse me, I dropped something. Drop something, drop something, drop something. So he's been, trying really, really hard to, how do I put it? Be a little bit more respectful. Because you guys remember last week, I made the statement that we're having issues with that. So that was, a first good thing on his, on, his redemption list. I guess that's what I want to call it. I don't know what I want to call it. I'm still trying to figure that out. So that was basically what happened Monday and Tuesday, because I was fighting, and I was just irritated and annoyed all day long. And I wasn't very nice to anybody. And it was one of those days. And I thought, you know what? I don't care. It could really, it's just, I just didn't care. So it's, I mean, you know how you get when you get annoyed like that? Then I just don't want to be around anybody. And I just, I don't answer the phone. I don't answer, the, messages. I don't do anything. So I just left it. And he, of course, my daughter was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm just annoyed. I just, leave me alone. So she, got that, she realized that, I was annoyed. And she came in and she apologized. And she said, well, I'm sorry if I'm annoying you. And I said, it's not you. I said, I'm just annoyed all the way around. I said, it has nothing to do with you whatsoever. And, she's like, okay. So that was basically, Monday and Tuesday. And I just wasn't. Amos Skylar, little dude, he was doing his best to behave. So I have to give him that one. So then Wednesday, it rained all day. Oh my gosh. Wednesday, I thought I was going to scream because I woke up in pain, and I knew I was in pain. I didn't feel good, and because of my arthritis, and I looked out, it was raining. I thought, are you just really okay? And I didn't know it was supposed to do this. And then to top it all off, I had an eye appointment. And that was just not, it was just not one of those things. Or was that? Yeah. I had an eye appointment. So it was just, I just wasn't in the mood to do that. But the whole good thing about that is, even though I didn't want to go to the eye appointment, not because I didn't want to go and have my eyes, air blown into them and all that other crap that they do. I wasn't feeling it. I really wasn't, because of my knees. And I was like, no, I don't want to do this. But the whole good thing about that is I'm getting um a new set of glasses, which is pretty good, which I'm really really thankful for. I know you guys can barely see my eyes over top of the thing. You barely see when I look in here, look into the cake, number one, because of this. And I'm trying to fix that issue. I don't know what I need to do to fix that issue where it's not glaring on my eyes. But anyway, um, so I'm getting new glasses because I was Justin and Skylar told me these glasses made me look like an old maid. Which granted, okay, I can see where they would see that. I get it. No, whatever. So I picked out some really nice frames, and I hope, and I didn't do it just because of that, because they said so. I did it because in a way I'm kind of tired of the thick frame. I only got them this thick frame and the big lens like this because I have bifocals down at the bottom. And, that's one reason I got it, because they told me, if you get, um, if you get the bigger frame glasses, blah, 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 you'll have more room for your, bifocal. And I thought, okay. So I did, not thinking that, okay, well, why would I want a big frame? It makes me look, goofy, blah, blah, blah. I mean, granted, they're fashionable. I like them, but I'm tired of them already because they keep coming down like this. And I feel like I'm like this, old woman that sits and whatever. You know what I mean? So I just, I said, all right, whatever. So I got those. They're pink. So I'm waiting to see. Um, I'm just waiting for them to text me and tell me that they're ready. Then I got another. I was and I wasn't, because one of my subscribers I hadn't heard from a while, and she has her own. She's also a creator, and anyway, she messaged me and she says, "Call me." I'm like, "Okay, I'll call you." So I did, and she said, "I'm sending you something." Okay. She sent me, now you guys can't see it, I'll show it up here. She sent me this pen. It's orange and it has kind of a pink in it and like a dark orange. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll put it up as close as I can. And it has black in it too. I like it. It's cute. So I was kind of shocked. So she let me pick it out. And which was, she told me to go onto the website and look it up and pick out which one I want. She says, "I'm buying it." I was like, "Why are you doing this?" I said, "This, you don't have to do this." And she says, "Because you're my friend and I like watching you." I was like, "Okay, whatever. You don't have to keep sending me presents, but okay." So I did, I mean, I'm glad that she, does that, but anyhow, but I kind of felt like, why would you do this? And I like the pen. So anyway, um, so I'm getting new glasses Wednesday. Nothing really excited happened the rest of the week except that it just rained. And I just wasn't in the mood to do anything, because when it rains, that's when my arthritis really flares up in my knees, and it makes it hard to walk. So I just sat there on the couch and vegetated, and kind of was a bump on a log all those 2 days after I got home from the eye doctor. And then And that was basically all of that. And I just, it was just one of those things. So it was just a kind of, I don't want to say a boring couple of days because it really wasn't. Um, I'm trying to think of anything else. See, this is bad. I've gotten it written down. I'm trying to think of anything else happened. Um, besides what I'm talking about because I can't always remember those things. And I try to write things down. It's pretty bad when you don't remember everything. Um, oh well, we'll just go on. So Friday, well, no, Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah. Wednesday after I got home, Justin Justin gets early release, so he came home early, and I was sitting here diamond painting, and I think I was editing a video. I don't even remember editing a video, I think, and he came in and he looks at me and he says, "Oh, I wanted you to know that the Marine Corps recruiter is coming." I was like, okay. And I wasn't dressed. I was in a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt. And I said, when? 1:30. Okay, son, it's 12:30. No, he's not coming today. Oh, he's coming Friday. Okay. Sorry, you hear my stomach growling. I apologize. I haven't eaten yet. So I said, okay. So he shows up here on Friday after school and stuff and starts, telling Justin all about, the Marine Corps and the pros and cons and gives him the advantages and tells him, what he could, accomplish and quote, Justin signed up or anyway, started the paperwork. And so he now mind you, when I say he started the paperwork, I was under the understanding that he had already made his decision. Well, he did. I thought he did. I was all excited. I was happy. You name it. I called a couple people and told them I was all excited. Well, and I kept asking him the whole time, are you sure this is what you want to do? You're not just doing this because, this man is standing here telling you, and, you're not just making this decision just to please the recruiter and please your mother. No. Okay. And I kept asking him the whole time. Now, mind you, he took the practice ASVAB, the ASVAB test, and he passed it with flying colors, which I thought, oh my gosh. And and when he found out what his score was, he was all excited. I thought, okay, he's really going to do this. I was really, and I kept asking him, making sure. And I mean, I didn't want him to do something that, he didn't want to do. And I just didn't want him to do it just because, he thought that's what I wanted. So nothing else was said about it. And he got started the paperwork, and as those of you that, are former military or whatever, how that paperwork, oh my God, it was the worst. He was here for 2 hours, let's put it that way. And I really thought, after the 2 hours was up and Justin had done all this, I thought, okay, you know, this is going to work. He's, going to do this. It's going, he's going to really step out of his little whatever comfort zone, I guess is what you want to call it, because I don't know what else to call what he has. And no. So I didn't say anything to him at all on Saturday. And I just, kind of just left it. Well, Sunday, he hadn't really said anything, and he doesn't tell me anything. He's very, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because, I don't know. He doesn't open up a lot. And so after all the arguing and whatever on Sunday with him and me, between him and I, and believe me, it wasn't pretty. He finally just came out and told me, I don't think I'm military material. Okay, well, why don't you think you are? Mom, do I look like I want to go into combat? I was like, what's that got to do with anything? And he's like, and I said, well, where is this coming from? And he says, he said, Mom, I do play it on Black Ops and Call of Duty and, but really? Okay, but they train you how to do all this, son. Okay. But for what I want to do, I don't want to go into combat. Okay, well, son, if you go into the computer thing, there is a lot of places or a lot of, branches in the Marines that you don't have to go. I said, but yes, it is possible that you could get called to go fight. Well, he didn't want to hear it. And then he says, I can do the same thing now as I would if I went in the military. And I said, well, yeah, but it would take you longer. What is your plan here? And we kept going and going and going and going and going. Well, come to find out, part of his reasoning of why he wanted to join, and I know this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of, but I'm not, it's like I told him, I'll support you whichever you want to do. It's, I can't change your mind. I can't, you know, tie you down and, hog tie you and take you to the recruitment office and say, you're going to go. I can't do that. Well, I think all of his close friends that he has and are going into the branch, into a branch of the military. And I said, okay, who? And he went through, all his friends. And I said, okay. And I said, well, is this influencing your decision? And he was like, kind of. And part of the other reason was you guys know, those of you that aren't new, my son is 18. He's getting ready to graduate high school, and it's his first, and he just got his heart crushed by his first major love, period. And I said, and he's like, well, part of it was because I, wanted to, yes, it had to do with her at some point. And I just looked at him and I said, well, number one, this is a decision for yourself, not for whether or not it shouldn't have anything to do with her. Shouldn't have anything to do with your friends. And to be truthful, it shouldn't have anything to do with me. I said, you're 18, you're old enough to make these kinds of decisions. You're an adult. This is your first adult decision, whatever. And so when he finally decided on Sunday that he wasn't going, and he told me, I I kind of got snappy with him. I don't know if I was mad. I don't even know. I can't even tell you why I kind of snapped at him. I don't know. I guess because I thought he was just making, you know, he was kind of, I thought he was chickening out. And so we got into it. And I just told, and finally after much, heartache, scream, kind of, I don't want to say screaming because, no, we didn't scream. But after all that, he finally, came out and told me, he didn't feel that he was military material, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay. I said, well, I'm not going to be mad at you. And I said, but, you know, I get it. And I said, but I don't understand why you think that way. And of course, he started getting mad because he thought I was trying to, trying to change his mind. No, I'm not going to change his mind. I just wanted to make sure that he was aware of, you know, aware that his decision and why he was making that decision. And me personally, I have, my doubts, but I'm, like I told him, I'm going to support him one way or the other, what he does. It just it's not my choice. It's not my decision, if that makes any sense. So he was scared. I get it. And I could see it on his face. And part of the reason he wanted to go in, there was a couple reasons he wanted to go in. Because Friday he sat right there and told me, was he wanted to take care of mommy. Because mommy took care of him for 18 years. He wanted to take care of me. He wanted to send me money, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, then I guess what even made it even more of a decision towards the yes was his dad. And his dad and I kind of got into it when I called and told him. And his father could care less either way. And his exact words, I won't go into detail, but his exact words were, whatever, basically. And he said something that kind of set Justin off. And I told Justin, I said, if that's, if you want that to be your main reason to go in, then, okay, I don't have any issue with that. You want to go and you want to prove that, what he says isn't true. I said, well, I'm not, okay. And I don't know what changed. Why? I don't know if it was because, he talked to somebody. I don't know. He's not really, being open with me on that at all. And I'm not going to force the issue. because I don't want an all-out fight with him, and I'm just not. I'm not gonna do it. So, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what his problem is. As long as I don't bring it up, he's okay. So I don't, again, I really don't know. I'm having a really, hard time trying to understand what's going on. And he's keeping his mouth closed, which is fine. So I'm not going to say anything. So then, of course, I'm dealing with Skylar because, guys, I don't understand. I really don't. This child, he's been going around. Now, I don't know where, at first I didn't know where he was hearing this from. He's been going around calling people fat. Well, I wasn't, like, he did it last night. And I looked at him and I said, where are you learning? Because he called, I don't even remember what it was, but he made the statement that such and such was fat. And I turned around and I looked at him and I said, what in the world is your problem? I said, why are you calling people fat? Well, I have a friend at school that does that. I don't give a two flying donkey's butt. Who's calling who fat? You're not doing it. It's rude. It's disrespectful. And people will get their feelings hurt. But I don't care if everybody else says it. I said, don't call people fat. That hurts people's feelings. And it's not nice. He was like, but everybody tells me that it's supposed to be a compliment. No. And I know why he thinks that. Okay. Because of the other fat that's, PHAT. No. He didn't come out and I said, well, do you know how to spell it? No, it's FAT. That's not what they're saying. And so he kind of, he says, well, they told me that it meant that this person was, fat, I guess. He didn't. I said, well, I don't want to hear it come out your mouth ever again. You don't. I said, if you're going to use it, then use it in a word like, oh, my, something. Use it where you're not putting people down. Not like that. So then we're sitting here, and I'm over on the bed reading a book, and because every night he likes to sit in here and play until 9:30 before he goes to bed. And so he was watching MPT Kids. All of a sudden, he's steadily talking. Okay. He's not talking to me. So I'm trying very hard to ignore him. And I said, dude, who are you talking to? Myself. Seriously? Really? Uh-huh. Okay. So I'm like, son, there's nobody there to answer you. Well, I have an imaginary friend, Mom. Okay. What's his name? First, he tried to tell me his imaginary friend's name was Alex. Now it's Billy. Okay. And I can't say anything because I had one when I was little. So, and I'm just like, okay. So I just told him, I said, dude, you've got to be quiet. And so, he's like, okay, I'm sorry. Well, a couple minutes later, he'd started again. And I just turned around. I said, dude, what are you doing? I'm telling Billy about this TV show. Um, okay. Um, okay. All I could do was laugh. I'm sitting there on the bed, and with my book, with my Kindle, and I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to say to this? So and of course, then the next thing I know, he comes up with another name. Don't ask me. I don't remember what the name is. And I said, son, what? Who are you talking to? And how many invisible friends do you have? Oh, 3 million. Okay. Really? What am I supposed to do here? Okay. So I was like, okay. So, yeah, it's been interesting. He just wouldn't stop. Now, he's never said anything about an invisible friend ever before. Okay? Never. Never, 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 never. This is a first. So I thought, okay, this is just going to be, really, really interesting. Yeah, this is just going to be one of those things. And so he kept going and kept going. He just wouldn't shut up. He just wouldn't stop. He just kept going. Oh my gosh. So finally, I'd had enough. And Miranda comes, excuse me, Miranda had come out of her bedroom and she's like, Mom, what's wrong? He's got an imaginary friend. And he's sitting here talking to him on my bed. What? So by this time, Skylar had hidden under my comforter. And yeah. So I just, I just didn't know what to do. I just sat there and all I could do was laugh because that's all I could do. So it's been interesting. He just, oh my gosh. And I asked him this morning, I said, do you remember talking about your imaginary friend? He says, yeah. And I said, well, why, what is your imaginary friend going to do today while you're at school? He's going to school with me. Um, I said, well, don't talk to him in school. Why? Because they might think there's something wrong with you. I didn't know what else to do, guys. I just stood there. I was like, "Oh my god," because my other kids never had. I mean, they had imaginary friends, but they never quote took them to school. So yeah. So I'm just waiting for him to come home and tell me, "Oh, mommy, Billy's staying for dinner. You have to make a plate." Because then I'm gonna be like, "What? Um, okay." So, like I said, it's gonna be interesting. It's I'm I just Hmm. I don't know. So we'll see. I just, I'm at a loss because I was just kind of just like, I'm just waiting for the phone to ring, my cell phone to ring to tell me, oh, you need to come and get him because, he's being disruptive because he's talking to his imaginary friend or a person that's not there. And then I'm just going to be totally like, oh my God, what am I going to do? He hasn't done it. So, I mean, this is the last night was the first, which I have to say, I was just like, and the look on his face, it was so serious when he was telling me about this imaginary friend. I mean, he told his sister, he told his brother. I was just like, okay. And I couldn't really like say anything because, I don't know about anybody else, but yeah, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but and of course, I told him that and he was like, "You did? What was her name?" I don't remember. I really don't. And he's like, "Why don't you remember her name?" Because son, mommy's 50 years old. That happened like 40, 30 some years ago. And he just, he didn't understand that. And we got into this really, 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 really long discussion about it last night. Finally, I just got to a point where he got me so irritated. I had to make him just, I just told him, I said, dude, he's like, what? I said, you need to be quiet. And of course, once he calmed down and stopped talking, he I was able to concentrate and start reading. Well, he fell asleep on my bed. So I had to get up and take him into his room. Now, imagine me lifting up a 9-year-old child who's dead weight. Yeah, that was fun. So I put him in his bed and came in here and finished reading my book and was reading the chapter that I started, and then I went to bed. And of course I woke up this morning and my this side of my mouth, I don't know what happened, but I thought it was a cold because I could feel it up here in my cheek. So I took medicine for it yesterday, and I thought, okay, well, I'll be all right. It's that's all it is a cold. No, it's something. And this morning I was brushing my teeth, and I felt back in the back because I have no teeth back here, and except like right here I have tooth, and I thought, okay, why is that kind of starting to swell? So I'm thinking I got a piece of food in there or something. So yeah, it's kind of sore, but it doesn't hurt bad. So we're just gonna. I've got to. Of course, I keep calling the dentist to get my teeth pulled because I'm from when I had really bad gingivitis when I was little or younger. It's caused my teeth. They told me it was going to happen, so I know it's going to happen, and I'm ready to get, pull them all out and do what needs to be done and get whatever, partials, whatever. So that's the only other major thing that's been wrong with me besides, worrying about Justin and worrying about what's going to happen with him and what decisions he's going to make. And, you know, now I know what my parents felt like. And I just don't want him to make a wrong one. But then again, you know, I can't really stop him if he does. It's got to be, you know, he's got to learn from all his decisions and whatever. So he's, you know, and I think our biggest hurdle is him uh not opening up, which he needs to, you know, at some point he's gonna have to learn how to do that. And because I mean, I don't like doing that. And like now, sitting here talking to you guys, I still have issues doing this. I still I still get that, you know, nervous anxiety sometimes when I go to start recording because I just don't like opening up. Let's put it that way. It's not, you know, I've always been like that, and that's his thing. That's what he told me the other night. I just don't like talking about my problems. I just don't like opening up about stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, eventually you're going to have to learn how to do that. And I said, look at mommy. I said, I do it on my channel. And, you know, and I still have, you know, issues with it. And he I said, would it help if you talk to somebody about, you know, what you need to do and, you know, help you make some kind of a plan? He says, I have one. And I said, well, I don't know what it is. I said, I want to help you, but I can't if you're not, you know, and I don't know. I'm just, it's hard. I mean, I didn't have this much of a, you know, I wasn't like this with my oldest daughter or my oldest son. I wasn't like this at all. And it's hard. So we'll see. All right, let's see what's next. H. Where is H? So, other than that, it's been, you know, quiet around here. And we hope it'll stay that way, right? I can only hope. So, I think that's it, guys. And I think that's all we're going to do. Excuse me. So, I hope, and we're going to stop here. So, I hope everyone has a great week. And thank you for watching. And if you like the video, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you are, please hit the like button. And once you subscribe, hit the bell. And I will see you all next time. Have a great week.